Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Evan, one half of MF Pearl. We got the other half sitting behind the cameras, making sure that we rollin'. We got David back there.
Hey, everyone.
Yes, sir. And you know what it is. Every Wednesday, Legends Only in the Building, Volume 2, live at MFHQ. Disclaimer. Live at MFHQ is in fact not recorded live. It's actually a pre-recorded program. This episode contains sexually explicit content, so feel free to do what you wish with that information. If you could be so kind of like, follow, and subscribe for me. We go a very long way. New episodes every Wednesday. Now back to the show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're back at it with episode 36. Thank you all for joining us so far along the ride of good conversation only. Make sure that you guys show love to the channel. You'll find all of our full-length episodes on YouTube. And, of course, you can check it out on our website, mfpearl.com. Of course, if you're streaming these on your favorite streaming platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music, make sure that you guys show love however you can on those platforms. Give it a rating, save it, share it, whatever you guys can do to go ahead and show love. And of course, you can stay up to date with everything that we're doing. Most active on Instagram at MF Pearl. But hey, yo, let's get back to the episode one time. Today is a very special episode. No correlation to 36. It just felt right. Today is the first time that we bring out one of the squad members, one of the people that have been along the MF ride the entire way through and beyond that. I can't stress enough how far back our guest and I, our guest in D, our guest in MF goes. We've had a lot of great conversations. We've shared a lot of great ideas. We've seen the progression of both of our ideas we've seen the progression of both of our ideas simultaneously. Like, we're both, like, this is one of those guests, I'm telling you guys, where it's just been constant communication. What makes this episode special is, of course, we're going to talk about the journey a bit, but this is an opportunity for us to also just document a really well-timed catch-up, because there's a lot of stuff to cover, and I think there's a lot of value in what we're going to be discussing. He's a great friend of mine. He's got a great story. Where he's at right now could just be like so different if like a couple of cards were flipped, let alone a lot. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, live at the HQ, we welcome Kevin Estrada.
Hello, brother.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah. The boy himself. Kevin and I go way back.
Yeah, we do.
The first time we met was in DC.
I was gonna say Washington D.C.
Yeah, because we were in the same club
We were
at school, but I don't ever remember
we were at
you.
the White House, man.
I don't ever remember you
Wait, what?
leading up to Washington. Like, same organization. We both did the same fundraising for it.
I don't remember the organization either.
I don't remember fundraising. Like, I think my
remember
parents
chocolate
did.
bars, like,
I
it's
think my parents did all the work for
Is this
me.
middle school?
Yes.
Yeah, 8th grade. I was chunky too.
We
Yeah,
went-
I remember that.
We
Oh,
went-
okay, you remember that?
Oh, shit, my bad.
Dang.
We went to DC, and had I gone to DC back then or today, I would have enjoyed a lot more of the trip. But I won't lie. When we went to the Capitol, not the Constitution,
Oh, shit.
when we went to the Capitol,
Same thing,
I could
different.
only think about going to the amusement park. That's all I was looking forward to.
Dang, I feel nerdy because I was actually very excited.
I like Jamestown. I think that was the underrated
pretty
part
cool,
of the
yeah.
entire trip. Like, getting to go to all that historic stuff. Like, we were going through like different boats.
Yeah.
The ghost town. Oh, it was Jamestown, I think.
What time of year is this?
It was at the end of the year, so it was probably like around March to April. I wouldn't
Oh,
say it
so
was the
I don't
end of the
remember.
school year. I think we went around March or April.
Do you remember that we passed by just a bunch of like statues?
The cemetery was cool.
Oh yeah, it was spooky.
We saw the changing of the guards. I don't know if that's legit or not. Like, I know it's legit. I know we didn't watch a fake one. But what I mean was like what we witnessed was like, damn, did we just witness something crazy? Because if you think about it, they do it like every 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's whatever. We could have come back in 2 hours and seen it again.
But it's like official.
Maybe I'm wrong to downplay it.
I think just how serious
There was
they
a lot of
take it.
people there, huh?
Yeah,
I thought you were hyping it up.
Am I tripping or was it raining that day when it started?
I don't remember it raining.
Me neither.
This makes me
still
feel very
have-
self-conscious because
Dude,
I don't
I
remember.
still have the panoramic photo that we took right in front of the Capitol. Do you have it too?
Probably not.
I still have it.
It's
You were wearing
wanna
jeans.
say yes.
You were wearing jeans, I think. You had short hair. And then I was wearing fucking checkered shorts
I do remember those.
and a striped Sean John polo, dude. Burlington ass outfit. Straight from Burlington.
I
was
just remember I
great.
would take pictures of everything. Like I remember there was a spot we saw a bunch of statues, and I think I took a picture of every statue.
Oh yeah.
Is this like
It was
2007?
different. It was different, like presidents and political figures, right?
Yeah, I'm doing math.
There was even a waterfall. There was like a waterfall there, in that
Has to
area.
be.
I think that was in the cemetery, dude. That might have been in the cemetery.
Maybe.
We went to like a museum of some sort, right? The Mall of America.
Yeah.
Fuck! Like I wish I could
Buy
remember
stuff.
the whole trip. I would have loved that trip now. All that historical shit would have
I
fascinated
was like
me now.
14, so that would have been like 15 years ago. What is that?
Minus 24.
2009, 2008.
Oh, I'm 2 grades ahead of you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's wild. Yeah, that mall was crazy.
It was more 2007. 2007.
Wait, whoa, oh shit.
2007 to 2008. 2007 to 2008.
Okay,
It has to be
It
2008.
was our seventh
Would've
grade.
been
It was our seventh
2000.
grade year.
Yeah, it was
I thought it was in
2008.
8th grade.
Nope.
Okay,
Oh, wait, what?
My nephew Josh was with us, and he was
Back.
only at Riverside on 7th grade.
no, that makes us in 8th
Oh,
grade.
then
though.
it is
No,
2007.
we were in the same grade,
What?
and
This
we
is
went
huge?
when he went with us because my nephew was with us on that trip.
So yeah,
But he was gone by 8th grade, so it had to have been
two-
7th.
yeah, 2007, 2008. My bad.
Mhm. Yeah, because I know that I went to high school 2009 to 2013. I know that those are my.
I'm worried about my memory now. Like
Now I
I
have
don't
great
remember
memory.
a lot of this.
Are you taking supplements? Like
I-
vitamins and shit?
I do take vitamins.
What do you take?
Not the right stuff. Apparently.
Oh, fuck.
I would have to look it up on.
Are
my-
you
on
intentionally
my list
taking
of-
vitamins for memory? No, I mean probably not,
Nah.
right?
I don't remember.
No, I have great memory. Would you consider memory to be a skill of yours that you want to prioritize, or do you have other stuff on your priority list? Skills, not
it's
like
not on the-
goals or tangible
I
things.
feel like it's on the
Skills.
list. It's
Something
not
that doesn't
front
go-
line.
What
It's
is?
so hard to edit.
Sorry.
No, this is great, dude. What is at the front line of what you want to improve on?
I just want to better time manage. I feel like I focus too much on my career, and I want to focus on like my own business career, if that makes sense.
But if your career is set,
It's never set.
time wise, can
What
you
do you-
explain? Okay, hold on. I think this is a good opportunity first before we get into that though to just like explain what it is that you do. What is it that
Do-
like you end up finding yourself prioritizing your career over your personal professional goals? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Your personal professional goals?
yeah,
You have a pretty good occupation.
yeah.
What is it?
I'm
you
in
do?
charge of quality for a fancy business. Um, that's all I gotta say. But no, it's pretty good. It keeps me very busy, and I love everything I do. The people there are amazing, but kind of what I was saying, like I have these little businesses I want to do, and they're kind of on the back burner because I focus on my actual like working job right now. So I'll maybe put in like an hour or two out of the week for my small businesses, and maybe do like 40 or 50, 60 hours on my actual career where I'm working right now.
Do you think you have a number of what you'd want to be putting into your other businesses, or is that not a number? Because I don't even think of my business like MF.
Yeah,
I don't think of it in terms of hours at all. It all gets blurred.
It's just always
I
on.
get that.
Do you not like? Does it bother you that you can actually count on your one hand how many
Yeah,
hours you're able to apply to
does.
it?
It does bother me. I would say if I could get it for like one solid hour,
A
which
day?
isn't much. Yeah, which isn't much, but
man.
I don't know.
You say that though, but once you start that 1 hour, you're gonna bleed into a second hour a lot of the time.
Yeah, But
Do you think the first thing that's gonna go though, in order to do that, would be your career right now, or do you think it'd have to be some personal stuff?
uh, it's both. So as soon as I'm out of work, I go and I'm at home.
Yeah,
I either go to like relax mode, which is just video games,
yeah.
or I just keep working from home. And there's just so much to like constantly do. That's why I love it. It just keeps me busy. Like I just keep learning more and more, and it's just awesome for me.
Could you sleep less?
Ooh, I think I have a hard time sleeping as it is, honestly.
You think you can sleep
I'm
more
just
right
too
now?
Wired. I should be able to sleep more, but I just fall asleep late because I'm always either.
Do you even have consistent sleep schedules? Like, can you
For
say
the
you
most
sleep
part,
6 hours every
yes.
day at least?
Yes.
Or does it fluctuate?
I would say consistently right now, I would say 6. Yes. And it's funny because I used to
feel like
work
6 is bare minimum.
night shift. I used to, and everyone like worries about nights. I love working nights. I'm naturally a night owl, so I used to work just as much or maybe less as I do now, but I would sleep way more. Like I get more rest at night if I'm working at night.
God,
Does
dude.
that make sense?
Yes, because a lot of the time, early on when I was really trying to make an effort to get website clients or real estate clients or social media clients, I felt like I'd have to operate when society operates, which is
Yeah.
during the day. Obviously, I'm good for a noon meeting, if we have to meet up somewhere and all that stuff. But I'm also on those days where I'm not meeting someone, I'm trying my hardest to be productive at noon, 11 a.m., and I just never could. And then I'd get frustrated with myself because I'd be really trying to tap in at those times. But lately, with work, I also get home pretty exhausted because I do wake up early for the gym with Stevan and all that stuff. So by the time I get home, I'm knocking out at around like 8:39, earlier even, right after I eat too. And that's what I want to improve on because like I probably don't digest food well, my dinner at least. But I wake up like at around 2, and the gym don't open till 5, so I'm not really linking with Stevan till closer to 4.
I didn't know you woke up at 2.
Yeah. And I get the most work done from like 2 to 4:30.
Yeah, it's just. Like
I'm actually so tapped in to where like 4:30 I'm like even seeing like, ooh, I'm gonna leave in 20 minutes. Can I get one more objective done? And I've started to just embrace it. But
Yeah.
I could be better about it because here's the downside. Pitch dark in the room, blasting right in my eyes, dude. Like, and I'm just working on this big widescreen monitor.
I actually love that because I think that's
It's
why.
not good for the eyes,
It's not
but
for sure not good for
I
the eye,
mean,
but it gives
whatever,
me like
whatever.
focus, and I'm like locked in, and like I don't know. It's midnight, everything's turned off, and I'm just like working. And it's just that's a perfect environment for me.
So I've stopped fighting it.
Is it easier to get into that flow state at that time?
For me,
For me, it is.
Interesting.
David for me has always seemed to be like the type who he's a little bit more in control when he can just turn the switch on and off. I can't.
Yeah.
I try to be active during the days, and I just can't. I can work during the day. I have a very hands-on job, so it's like, okay, start to finish. But when it comes to the design stuff where it's really blank canvas, flow state is very hard for me to just like reach. There's not a start to an end.
I'll say that it's really hard for me to enter the flow state at the time that you guys are entering it just naturally.
In the middle of the night,
Yeah.
you sleep during those times.
Yeah. Well, I've learned maybe it's just 'cause I'm getting old.
Nah.
You sons of a. But
No, because I say like as I'm getting to this age too, I'm starting to really embrace. How were you 2 years ago?
see, it was more like I could enter it during like middle of the night.
I feel like I've always been like a nighttime person.
Yeah.
Like I think my options are just getting more limited with age, which I guess makes sense. But I'm also like fine tuning the time that just naturally works for me.
Yeah.
And where you guys like you already know naturally like this
That-
time of the day.
Down to gaming when I was in high school. Like I'd always stay up really late gaming.
Me
Like
too.
I was just able to.
Me too.
You guys wanna get tired?
Nah, dude. That's when I would get good.
Yeah.
That's when I'd start playing all the scrubs. Like,
And it was crazy because I would like sacrifice my sleep, and like I knew what I was doing, but I was like I didn't care, and I feel like it made me better, honestly.
There'd be days back then where I would go ahead and be like, oh man, if I sleep right now, I'm gonna mess it up. So then I would just crank out like 6-7 more hours.
Yeah.
And I would clock in like 30-hour days, dude, where I wouldn't sleep for 30 hours.
I would
Never
still
even
sleep,
an energy drink person. I was just able to stay up.
Yeah. I'm not an energy drink person either.
Do
Are
you guys?
you an energy
I
drink
love
person?
this chapter of the conversation. I already know what it's gonna be called.
If you guys wake up, do you need caffeine usually to like kick in?
Nah, what's
Makes me
crazy
sleepy,
is I've
actually.
been drinking
What the-
cold. Nah, well, I've been drinking cold brews lately. I need to stop. They work too much on me. I start getting
Really?
shaky, dude.
Oh,
Really bad. Maybe I could tone it down, but nah.
Coffee makes me sleepy.
I know about the shakes.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, dude.
I think I always say coffee makes me sleepy, and I always thought because growing up, my grandma would make me like a glass of coffee as I would go to sleep.
More like a hot chocolate type of thing.
Yeah, but it was coffee.
Oh my god.
You were conditioned, dude.
So that's what I always
Karl
thought.
Marx.
But people say that
Marxism.
it has
I'm
to.
just kidding. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
It's not that.
Actually, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't apply.
I'm probably thinking of Freudism, right? Freudian. I just come up with all
For
these
sure, not
philosophies.
that either. None of these.
Just fucking around.
Once like
It's just classic conditioning.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Mexican
Gaslighting.
culture.
I'm just kidding. Just all crazy.
You're saying all these terms.
Yeah.
Would it be hot or cold though?
I remember it being hot.
Oh, okay.
I relate coffee to this comfy feeling.
I wonder if
Like,
cold coffee hits harder because I only drink cold. I don't like hot coffee.
I prefer cold.
I don't like having to wait for it to be
Yeah.
a temperature I could drink it at. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I already decided to cut that out.
That's good. I always tell people that drink energy drinks like don't drink
yeah,
energy.
I don't drink energy drinks for the energy. I only drink Red Bulls,
'cause
and
they're so
it's
good.
just because of flavor. Yeah,
Red Bulls are like delicious.
I love Red Bull. I just been watching them a lot, mainly though because of I've been starting to see people notice how they're not an energy drink. They're an advertising brand. Did you know that? Did you know that Red Bull is officially an advertising company?
That
Oh wait,
makes
hold on. You
sense,
know what?
though.
I'm not gonna say that. I think people are just starting to recognize them as that.
That makes sense because of all the sports stuff they do.
Dude, their ads are crazy, dude.
Yeah.
They have such that's advertising. They're advertising Red Bull. Gives you wings. What a oh man, it gives me such a fucking
hard on?
for
What
branding,
was
dude,
that?
like crazy. It's such a branding like masterclass, man.
Yeah. Their commercials and all the sports events they do, all their weird extreme sports.
The jumping
just
from like the edge
fun.
of space shit.
Yeah.
What did you do at OSCM? Is your degree?
Yeah.
Did you ever get an
Operations
itch?
and
Do you ever
support.
get the itch for marketing or branding? Like, does that ever interest you when you're thinking about your own personal projects?
No. Not really.
What
I think it's
parts of your
fascinating.
projects? What parts of your projects really excite you the most when it comes to being like these ideas?
Just like creating a system that works efficiently. It sounds kind of nerdy,
It just so happens that the end product is what it is. Ends
Yeah.
up being.
but
You can even talk about it if you want.
you can give me anything and just watching the whole process from how it's made to when it's like finally finished or done or used. I think that whole thing's fascinating. It's like setting up all these dominoes and setting them up in a way that would like
So watching the operation
Yeah.
evolve. That's what excites you the most about this entrepreneurial journey.
yeah,
Okay. So if you only
and the money.
if you can only find about 1 or 2 hours a week right now, as let's say you got 10, what do you think would be the first steps right now? Because let's catch people up on this journey right here. You've gotten the LLC part.
Yeah.
So what would be if you had 10 hours to fill up a week? How would you approach this journey right now?
It's literally step by step.
What does
So
it look like for you?
the next step right now is actually I want to get into this business that will let me like sell, and it's just filling out the application. I think I filled it out. I got rejected because something with my name didn't seem correct, so I gotta like reapply. But after that, it's just like, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? Until I get to the end, and that's kind of how I also take on things. I don't look at it simultaneously like from the very beginning. Oh, I gotta make sure I get my resources. Gotta make sure like down the line I have the building. I just look at it step by step. Like, okay, this got knocked down. What's next after this? Did that make sense?
So you tackle things
You're not a multitasker?
right, like one at a time.
I am for my career, but when I tackle on problems, it's one at a time. Like I'll set up all the okay, I have this to do, this to do, this to do, this to do. I'm gonna just focus on this, knock it out, and then I'll work on this, knock it out.
Is that for time efficiency?
That and just priorities. Like I assign everything a deadline. So I was like, I should be able to knock this out in 5 minutes. It's really important. I'll give it those 5 minutes. The next thing is not so important. It'll probably take 2 days. I can put it on the back burner. I'm constantly organizing what I'm gonna do that way.
You like systems.
I do.
How are you organizing that? What do you? Are you like just like a notes guy? You just use your notes app?
Honestly,
How do you keep all
something
this?
like that. I have a post-it, but
Physical ones?
a computer post-it.
Okay.
I do want to have a physical ones. And did you ever see Silicon Valley?
No.
Yes.
They have a spot where like it's just the way they work, and it's 3-color post-its,
Oh yeah.
and that just depends on the priority.
Yeah.
And they just hang them on a wall, and like it's a task, and they put a post-it, and then they're like, they take the post-it and like I'm gonna work on this until I complete it. And
What
then I put
happens when you
another-
need to go mobile though? Are they only on your desktop?
Yeah. Oh, I have a laptop.
Do you take your laptop everywhere?
For the most part, yeah.
True.
Anywhere I'm gonna work,
You like to keep it simple?
I do.
So if I try to like tell you about Notion, you'd be like, nah, it's just gonna overcomplicate my system. You think
Yes,
Oh.
I still want to hear it because you've told me about it before, but it's more I want to hear it in case like
can
hey,
your job, can your company, can your department work off of a 3-color post-it system, or is that just too much? It's too much operation.
I think it can. For me, the way, if that makes sense, because I'm in charge of the quality department and a learning department. So, like, as long as I can relate confidently and effectively to my team, like, my system works. And it's funny because I talk to my team, like, I let them know, hey, this is how I work. And it's important. So, like, I message, like, hundreds of people in a daily basis. So I have all these subfolders of like, if you message me, it automatically becomes a first person priority.
What do you guys message each other on?
Just task like all the things I'm working on. It's
No, like, do you guys use a certain chat thing?
oh, we use Slack.
Okay, I've heard of
okay.
it. Yes.
That one's amazing. Highly recommended. So in Slack, it lets you like have a folder for, I don't know, anything related to the business, or anything related to quality, anything related to learning. So I use that.
You can restrict access on them.
Yeah, so you
That
can
way
read certain
nobody's over
chats.
here
Yeah,
just accidentally confusing it.
exactly. Yeah, and then it's personalized for you. So like however you organize it, it's organized just for you, and everyone can self-organize. So if you're an organized person, I think it's really helpful, and I always recommend like honestly spend a day organizing your stuff, and it'll help. I also have a folder just named Team. Those are the people. If there's a message there, I'm gonna read it probably within the next hour. As opposed to someone who messages me, I don't know who they are. It's just a stranger.
Or like when I text you.
Yeah.
I waited like 8 hours for.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
waited like, nah, that's all good. I knew you were gonna get it.
But I was tracking, man. I was ready.
Ah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Notion's kind of like that, but I've made it complex at this point. I'll happily show you. Hell yeah.
I'm okay. You have showed me.
Oh.
I think that's also how you work. Would you say your thoughts, like when you're thinking about things, they work in the way Notion does?
No, I've learned to use
Really?
it for certain things, and then I've learned to use my notes app for other things.
Really?
Like quick tasks, I try to implement it into Notion. I don't need to. I'm not checking it like that. I check it more for things like I do. Like you're gonna have a page on Notion for the guest as a guest because it's gonna have like all this stuff that I do actually like to have settled in there. But when it comes to like, I have on my notes app just like a very long running to-do list. Let's see. It's just like from the very first one, dude. I started this. I wish I could tell you when I started it. But look at how long it is.
Do you cross them
You
off
see it?
as you complete them?
No, well, they're check marked. Look at that one that's blank. It's been haunting me for a minute.
Yeah.
But
That's how my
but
post
look at how long it is, dude. There's something about seeing this really long checklist that tells me I've done a lot. Keep that snowball going. And that's as simple as it needs to be for me. So when it comes to like quick daily tasks, like on the fly tasks, I can just keep it on that.
That's how my
I also
post-it
have
is.
rapid quotes, things that I hear that I'm like, oh, I gotta write that down. Lyrics and shared notes. I collaborate more through my notes app than I do on Notion.
Interesting.
But I use Notion for like, I keep track of my finances on Notion. I keep track of the podcast guests on Notion. That's about it. Like I have folders for midnight sessions and I have folders for other things, but I don't find myself needing to use them that much. And I tried, but nah.
How you just showed me that? That's how my post-it looks like. But for me, it's not check mark.
You
It's
save?
like
Oh, you did cross that.
I take it off the list. So the smaller the list, the better I know that I'm like handling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever there's one and it's been there a while, I'm also like, damn, I gotta take care of that. Like I haven't forgotten about it, but it's haunting me too.
Yeah, like I know there's that fucker up there just
Yeah,
like just chilling, man.
exactly.
And I'm like, I gotta do that shit at some point. But I like that.
Yeah.
That works for me. But I use Notes and Notion.
That's
Probably down to a T, and that's it. I'm starting to just like embrace those two and not try to overcomplicate it. I do use this other one called Smart Tasks, but that's for like literally reminders to drink my water. I know it sounds
I
funny,
need to
but
do
like
no, I need that too.
I'm trying to drink a gallon every day. And so I have 3 reminders.
I tell my team to like anytime you see me, tell me to drink water, and like I'll say super thank you. 'Cause I
There's
don't.
yeah. I've been trying to do it every now and then at work. I'll be like, "Did you get your water in?" And then I'll hit them with like a 30-second chug, dude. The what'd you say? The cell?
Oh yeah, from Dragon Ball, you know when Imperfect Cell like stabs someone and starts
just
absorbing them.
consumes it?
That sound like
He says I sound like that when
that's how
I
his
chug
throat
water.
looks too. Like there's like a bulge just going down.
Dude, just like an anaconda with Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez.
We're making a sequel to that.
No way.
real?
Yeah.
Are they both
Holy
coming
It's
back?
gonna be no. It's
Ah,
gonna be,
what's the point?
Who's Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd?
Rudd?
I think he's gonna come back.
Oh, there's the
shit.
point.
It's Paul Rudd.
Wait, he's in it?
No,
It's
Oh, like he's
but
just gonna be in
He's
it?
gonna be in the sequel.
Oh.
Anaconda Man.
What the fuck?
It's just him and his
It's
puns.
Ant-Man versus Anaconda.
That'd be crazy. Ant-Man 3. Oh wait, there was already 3, huh? Quantumania.
Ant-Man 4.
Oh,
Quantumania.
true. There's already.
It'll be Ant-Man 6, and they're just gonna skip the other ones.
Damn, dude.
That's wild.
Okay. I can hear the beard scratch.
Oh no way! Can he really?
Yeah, it's cool. It's funny. For the job, for the career, how do you envision that playing out? Like, we're looking at steps at a time, but you're in a fortunate spot where you can go ahead and use your career to essentially launchpad any of your personal ambitions that you want. So how do you map out like long-term stuff?
Yeah.
Like anything can happen, of course, at any day, but do you want to keep nestling in more with your company?
I don't.
Do you have a roadmap for that?
I don't. It's more if I can be self-sustaining without them, more than likely I will leave. So just a heads up. But
okay.
yeah, if otherwise, I don't know. Right now it's more of like I need them cuz I need the money, but like at some point I would still probably work there just for fun, and like I wouldn't put too much time into it. I'll just be there helping and supporting cuz I genuinely like what I do. Did that answer it?
Yeah. What else would help aside from obviously, hitting home runs with your personal businesses? Investing. That'll help you that'll help you be self-sustained.
Investing. That's probably my main thing right now helping me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do. Out of everything I do, investing has been my, like, gives me more returns than anything.
Before we begin,
The journey of investing?
how private would you like to be about your personal portfolio? Is that what you want to call it?
Like, do you want dollar amounts? Is that what you're saying?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Um,
Don't look at me different, though.
no, I'm gonna ask for some help. I am.
I'm ask for some loans.
0 interest
You want
loan.
to be an angel investor?
Yeah, huh? Nah, just kidding. When you told me that, what platform do you use?
So many.
You use different ones then.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
then,
many, I mean like 5 to 7.
and do you have money in crypto?
Not at the moment.
So
I
just
used to.
stocks, just stocks.
Yeah. I used to be.
Do you have like a savings account with a bank?
I
That earns
do.
you interest?
Want me to tell you everything I have?
Sure.
I have.
All the things that you would consider an account that you use to keep putting money into.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have. Let me take out my phone if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just started playing Candy Crush. Just kidding.
You can hear
You
it.
just hear the bring, the super sound. The super sound
Delicious.
intro. Castle crashes, dude.
Little sound.
Candy Crush.
Angry Bird or what is it? Floppy Bird. You just have a rare gem. Like, dude, that'd be crazy.
Sorry.
The original Temple Run.
He's like moving the phone.
These are classics, man.
Yep. Jailbroke.
I have my bank, so that has a checkings and a
Is
savings.
your checking or like anything?
Not really.
Oh,
So I
oh,
just
it does though.
it's like 0.001.
Hey, my checking's just fucking. You have here's your money in digital form.
I think any bank other than Navy Bank, like they're all not great. You
It's
shouldn't.
whatever.
You shouldn't keep your money in a bank.
Okay.
It's only for like handling and taking care of like a certain amount of money.
So then you have a checking account,
Yes.
and it's whatever it earns is negligible.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Same
one,
with the
though.
savings.
You're gonna okay.
Every-
You're gonna consider them 2 or 1.
I would consider them 2 accounts.
Okay.
And then I have some credit cards, which I do feel like I need to mention, because
You consider them investments?
I do, because most good credit cards will give you like a 3% return, depending on how you use them.
Cash back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
For
making
sure.
sure you don't have like better credit cards than me where I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I got 4 to 5.
I know you have
credit
better
cards.
ones, but I just want to make sure we're still in the same league of like cash back.
Okay, but yeah,
Okay.
it'll normally be like that.
I'm gonna act like I've been here
Um,
before.
The Southwest one.
I don't consider this one an account,
That's a banger.
You get flights.
but it's important. PayPal or something just to like, either Cash App or PayPal is like an important one, I think, just to like
Also,
between people, and if you,
about Zelle. I
I
like
would
Zelle.
I would
in terms of
put them all in the same category. As far as like just exchanging money, and as long as you're not putting money, you're just like normally helping people out. It becomes its own mini account, and it just like stocks up, if that makes sense. Okay, I also have Vanguard. That's for my Roth 401k. That's Roth 401k is one that you can't take out for like until you're 60 something.
Okay, so you have a Roth 401k and you chose Vanguard for it.
It was
Is
recommended
that
to
how
me.
it's worded?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't choose it though. When I got into investment, it was by an accounting teacher in EPCC. Shout out. I forgot your name. I'm sorry.
Why is he dead?
Oh no.
I don't know. It's been like 10.
Holy shit.
I hope not. He was pretty young. I don't think so.
Hey, dude.
Shout out.
Holy
He's over there.
Where is EPCC, Lord? Shout out. I'll be that direction.
There you go.
But he set me up, and it's kind of sad. We'll might get into it.
You
It
put
was
money
when
into
I-
it now?
Yes.
Okay. What were you about to say? Sorry.
I got into it because I was really sick during this time.
Okay.
And it was just kind of like, hey, I have this money. I don't know how my health is gonna do, and like worst case scenario, like something happens, I would like for it to like be working for my family. So he was able to set me up, and he said like not a lot of people, especially at a young age, are interested, but he taught me a lot. And I think even if you get like if I teach you everything about what I know of investing, you can still like do terrible tomorrow, and it's not until you do terrible that like you learn yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I have Robinhood. I use that for like personal investing, so I can take that money out whenever. I use Fidelity. That has all my work 401ks. There's three just from different work related ones. And then I have a Webull. That's a really good. It's kind of like Robinhood. That one's more of day trading. I don't do too much of it, but I did want to explore it, so that's why I opened it.
Do you ever do it if you have like a free day?
Not as much as I probably should, honestly.
Okay.
It's more if I see a deal while I'm doing my normal investing, then I'll try to day trade it.
Do you do any forex?
I don't. I am interested, but I consider that like day trading.
Yeah.
You just gotta watch it.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't have the time where I can do day trading like that. That's why I do barely some, but forex would fall the same. What else? I have Gemini, which is the crypto one. And that one I was really big, and unfortunately for them, they got involved with a third party who kind of screwed over a bunch of people, and like I lost 10K. But Gemini is a really cool crypto app, and I still support them, and they were able to get me my money back. But it took years, and it was just like it just happened that it was a really good app, and they just happened to work with the wrong partners, and that kind of like tainted them. So as of now, I'm not into crypto.
That just like turned you off from it?
Yeah, and I feel like as of now, I miss the big stuff, and I wouldn't even say I missed it because I got into crypto in 2014. I just took it out really early. So at some point, I own like 2 or 3 Bitcoins.
Damn.
But I was a college kid back then, and like, man, crypto was going up, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make like $500 from selling this. For a college kid who like is kind of poor back then, like that was a big deal for me. And I was like, I made $500, and like other people weren't making $500 like that easy. But in hindsight, like I didn't know how big it was gonna get, and like, man, I could have maybe made like 70, 80 grand. And there's been like multiple opportunities. I think Dogecoin was another one. Like, had 10,000 of them when they were worth 0.0007. They went up to like almost $1. That would have been like, I don't remember. I think I did the math like 200K. But again, it was another one like I made $300. That's a huge deal for me. And I was like, I don't know.
At what point did you like realize that you were learning enough about yourself to be like, no, like I like stay in it?
I think it was not about learning. It was more of like, I don't need the money. Like, right now, I'm fortunate where I have the money to like take out from my like checks that I'm getting and everything to reinvest or invest. And back then it was like, man, I put this money I just happened to have. So as soon as I saw it was green and I could flip it, I was like, I'll take the opportunity to take it out because I need that money actually. It was just like extra money at the moment I have. It's green. I profit.
So it's like your intention behind it?
Yeah, that's
On
what
the
changed.
Initial, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I feel like that'd be stinging me too hard.
The 200K and stuff like that.
Potential loss, you know.
It-
but I
it
guess
does.
that's ultimately though,
does.
starting in 2014, I guess about 10 years into investing at this point, maybe even more. I guess you learn that's the game you play.
Yeah.
Like, are you a little desensitized to this now?
Yeah, and I think
Does
that's
it help
another.
that you have breathing room though?
Yeah, for sure helps. But that's also what I meant. Where like, you can learn everything, but it's not until you yourself are doing it that you don't like acknowledge or experience or really feel it. Like I can tell you, hey, invest in this, and like no matter how green it gets, don't take it out. But until you experience it, and like I know Kevin said this, but I'm gonna take it out. It's green, and then like that's when you feel the loss, and you're like, I understand a whole different like perception of it. So I think for anyone who's interested in investing, whatever you put, just already keep in mind, like you might lose it. It's just extra money. Plan for that, and then like it's okay to lose it as long as you learn.
So, do you use Webull and Robinhood the equal amount, or does one take up a lot of it?
Robinhood probably the most, and Vantage or Vanguard. I said Vantage. My bad.
Vanguard is like a Robinhood or what?
Yes, but that's the one where it's a Roth 401k. So I can't take it out for like.
Is that
60
a
years.
standard set of stocks, or what? What is that?
I think it's everything in the market that's available.
Raw?
Yeah.
Everything in the market.
Yeah.
No top 500. Everything.
Well, it's got everything you can get on Robinhood. You'll get there too.
Oh.
It's more of how it works as far as for you. Because you have Roth 401ks, you have regular 401ks, and then you have personal accounts. Those are the three types I would say. I just want to say this ahead.
I'm not.
I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to share good knowledge.
It's funny. He said, "Is it like after like 20 minutes of straight money talk, dude?" I just want to say this ahead. No, you saying this shit behind, dude. You saying shit. You're saying this shit mad behind.
I'm not giving investment advice yet.
He's advising me right now,
I will.
but because I'm taking it in, you guys don't have to listen to this shit at all.
But
Do you have a spy?
I don't. But I don't know. I might get one.
Let's do it.
Right now?
Nah, I'm not.
Okay.
No, do it with me. Wait till with me.
Okay, I'll wait.
All right.
What is that?
I'll start looking into it.
It's essentially you're buying one collective thing. You can buy like part of it. Right now it's like $570. But from what I understood yesterday is that it's like buying a Bitcoin. You know, you could buy part of it and you can just buy more and more until you, I guess, accumulate a Bitcoin. But you can essentially accumulate one SPY, which is like a collective percentage of the top 500 companies in the stock market. The S&P 500 to be exact. But it's abbreviated as SPY.
I don't know the verbiage. I want to say it's like a bond or what's that movie?
Option? You're thinking about option? Or you're
No,
thinking about bond?
That's a different type of way to buy. But I think like a bond is just made up of a bunch of mini stocks. And I feel like the SPY is like one of the best ones because it's made out of the top 500.
I forgot what Israel said, but he said every year it's just almost guaranteed to just go up by like 10% or something.
I think out of the last 20 years, maybe 2 or 3 years, it went down.
COVID, you can see when it,
Yeah.
but it actually, he showed me, he's
But
like, it
everything
actually
went
came
down.
right back up.
Yeah, everything went down during that time.
though.
Yeah. Oh, COVID.
Dropped. You can see right when it happened,
COVID
dude.
was a
It's
great time to
crazy
buy.
how it looks on the fucking charts.
I bought a lot during COVID. That was a great time.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about how your money works for you at this point. Can we get into numbers a little bit?
Yeah. I'm going to get my
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah. I want to see how it looks like.
Delicious.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe a sidebar. Do you have insurance? Like, do you have like life policies or anything?
I don't. Here's my thing against
I know.
life insurance.
Segways.
I hate them.
Okay.
I think they're terrible. For the most part. It has potential to be good, but between like some stranger running your money as far as like life insurance or even brokers, I'm not a fan of brokers too. You can do everything yourself. So if you learn how to do it, just learn how to do it good, and like you don't need them. You don't need life insurance.
Just be healthy. I can't imagine.
No, but like for life insurance, you give you know how they work?
I know that, it could be as simple as life insurance, but a
Yeah.
lot of people really play that shit to their
Yeah.
advantage.
So it's one of those like if you know how to play the game.
Working with insurance, I learned how like
Yeah. So insurance in general, I'm not a fan of. You're putting money, so at some point, if something happens, someone else is investing your money and then something happens and they're like, give you what you put in and then some. That, I've seen so many horror stories where that doesn't work out. Or like, hey, the money I'm putting in, like, I actually need it back sooner, and they're like, no, we're doing stuff with it, so you can't have it back. Or there's so many like, I'm not sure what the word is.
Are spies like that too? Do you have to put it in and not touch it for a while, or can you?
It's better when you don't touch it, but you have the freedom to like take it out for that.
As a lump sum?
Whatever you put in, yeah.
Well, I figure if
that
you
would
can
be
buy,
like a personal account.
I figure if you could just simply buy Spy on Robinhood.
Yeah. Exactly. But I rather use that money than give to someone like a life insurance agent, give them $30 and they're doing the same thing, and then something goes terribly wrong, you're like, hey, actually I gotta take the money out, and they're like, nah, you can only take it out during this time frame, or like
So then would you rule out just even getting a financial advisor then altogether? Like, do you think you need one at least to get off the ground?
Don't think so.
What, you
I
don't?
don't think you need a financial advisor.
Oh, okay.
But I think you should check one out. It just depends on your situation. Like if you're really bad
You should get
struggling,
that free consultation.
yeah. If it's free, for sure. But I don't want anyone to ever like, this is my personal thing. Don't pay someone to do what you can do or learn yourself. And I think a lot of like brokers, they're out for themselves. A lot of like, this is my mentality. There's a lot of brokers probably like Wolf of Wall Street, just trying to make money off you. And you can make your own money. Or you can do your own investments. Maybe not great at first, but with time, you'll get there. Or you just got to look at it like people you trust. We live in a great time where the internet, so many YouTubers are just like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm investing.
It's easier to gauge transparency.
Yeah. And a lot of the investors you see out there, they're like, I'll show you what I'm doing. And like, if we fail, we fail.
Oh.
It's not a you fail. So I think it's just finding about how they work. And there's so many people that are willing to help out and like showcase how to do everything.
Do you think for the most part, everyone's advice, there is like a consistent variable?
Yeah. I've heard
What do you think is, yeah? Are you asking like what's the standard of investing?
yeah. I would say just be prepared to like take those losses at first, cuz again, you can study for 10 years and like until you actually do it, you really don't know. But you adjust relatively quick, I want to say, or you figure out your thresholds, cuz everyone says like don't invest in stocks or invest in certain things because of like how you feel. Back in the day when I first started, I would look at my phone like every like 10 minutes and like, am I green? Am I green or am I red? And then if I was red, I'd freak out. I'd be like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And at this point, I'm like, hey, it is what it is. So just playing and like working the stock market, you also like grow your like space of like, it's down like 20%. It's just another Tuesday or something.
Is there a minimum that you'd go in with though? Like, is it possible to only go in with like $60, and then for some reason the SPY drops below 60, and you're like, oh fuck, I lost it all. I can't, like, it doesn't go up, and then I go up with it.
Well, this is what I always tell. Like, once you buy stock, it ain't a loss until you sell it.
So you could be in the negatives.
You can be in the negative.
Okay.
Just hold.
Okay.
Just wait.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like.
But no, there's no amount. I think.
Well, that's only for stocks. Because in Forex, you lose it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, now it's gone.
Practice for it.
So like a certain day you come in like, I'm coming in with $100 to play today.
You can lose it. Yeah.
You don't go negative.
No, as soon as it goes negative, the game's over.
Oh, so Forex is more like betting or like options,
Yeah.
where as long like if it goes up, you're good, or if it goes down and you said it's gonna go down, you're also good.
Right. It depends. You can buy, right, so it's either going to be like, damn, I haven't done this since, I actually did this during COVID. But it was like you have the bull
Yeah.
and then you have the bear.
Yeah. Those are options.
And you can decide like, oh, it's gonna go down. Like it's simple as that. It's gonna go down or up. Like that's all you're betting on.
Options is the same way. You also have a timeline on options. So options is just gambling, by the way.
That's
honestly.
how Forex feels.
Yeah. So that's why my comfort level is unless I have some part into what I'm doing or like some insight. I know most of it's still luck, but like as much as I can do research and like have a good idea, and I don't say it's a loss until I say it's a loss, then I feel comfortable. That's why I don't do options. I want to, and maybe I will within the year, but it's not something I would like give out as advice like options you should do, because I've seen so many people on Reddit do options and it's gambling. It'll ruin your life. It's crazy. I've seen people. Yeah, we can probably look someone up. They probably lost 100K in the last week.
Damn.
That was all their life savings. Like,
Yeah, in Forex you can lose so much in like 2 seconds.
don't do that
It's just gone.
unless you like know what you're doing, or experience, and even then you can still lose it. My route is conservative and dividends. Even a little day trading. That's why I like.
You scratch that itch
Yeah,
with some day trading.
yeah. And even then, I feel like day trading's kind of gives you that gambling feeling, but it's not a loss until you say it's a loss. Options, like, no, it's a loss in a certain period.
Yeah. Yeah, in Forex, like if you put in $100 and it goes negative 400 in whatever direction you wanted to go, either up or down, it's gone. But if it's like 99 and then it starts bouncing back up, you're still in it. So it's like whatever you put in, that's your like buffer zone. If it goes out of the range of how much you're putting in, then you've lost that money.
See, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I'm gonna pull up my accounts. You want me to say them out loud or just show you?
No, you can say them out loud. That way it's on audio too.
There's like
So everyone
specific-
knows.
No, just so like our people who watch or listen to our platform on Spotify, Apple Pod, or Amazon Music, you know?
It's a nice little
even
plug
YouTube, even YouTube, if they just turn their screen off, YouTube Premium.
there. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my personal one. The first one, it's Robinhood. It's about right now. It's about 41K. So, and then
What'd you do if like I looked at you so different that I was like cross-eyed?
I'd worry, man. I'd worry.
That's crazy, dude.
Having said that, like
That's spread across what? A lot? Like, are you very diversified
as far as like what I'm invested to,
within
Yeah,
Robinhood?
yeah.
I want to say about right now seven stocks.
Are any of them collective stocks, or they're all individual things?
They're all individual. I like the individual route. I might get into Spider kind of.
Does it help you to make this public so that or would it dilute if anyone's trying to copy you or anything?
Nah, I mean,
What
as
are
far
those
as, like-
seven? Do you? Oh, I wanted to ask you this. Maybe we can answer it
we
within
can
this.
talk about it.
Maybe we can answer it within this. Do you ever invest with your heart? Oh, I love this company, or do you only invest with strategy?
For the most part, strategy. Anything with the heart is just like, I'm saying goodbye to that money. I don't expect to gain it back.
What's one of those examples? What's a stock that's investing with the heart?
I can't remember right now. I'll see if I can find it. It might be on a different account, but it was a cool bank account idea. By I think
Like Mint Mobile with Ryan Reynolds.
no, I think it was something by Mark Cuban, or it was either that or he did something pharmaceutical.
Oh,
And it was just to make things affordable and like helpful. It was a really good company that just wanted to do good. And I was like, I'll invest in them. I don't see them like becoming a multi-billion company, but what they're doing is important in my eyes. So that's how I invested with the heart for them.
so what do these seven look like?
They're all dividend except one. I used to mess around with penny stocks, and I got a really, really good tip on a penny stock, and it didn't work out. It went really bad. But again, my thing is it's not a loss until I sell it, so that's why it's still here. I'll probably sell it next year, maybe in 2 years. And the reason you want to keep your negatives, it's also a taxing. You can lose up, I think, to $3,000, and like your taxes will be covered in your taxes. So, another.
How do you get your taxes done? Do you go to someone?
No, I do them myself, but next year I will go to someone because I feel like I'm not doing it as good as I could. So I want to go to someone to teach me or like show me. Like, I'll do my own taxes or I'll get the amount of what I would get, and then I'll go to someone to knock them out or like knock them out.
Oh shit!
Have them knock it out.
Sleeping with the fishes. Eh?
Sorry.
We got
And
a
then
real wise guy.
See what they can get, and then if they can get me more, then I'm like, oh, I gotta pick up my game, or like there's something I'm clearly missing. And then once I learn that, then I'll probably go back to doing it myself.
Now you're in the mafia.
Yeah. But
Now you're with the vetoes.
I don't know. Can I like move up? How would this work?
Keep your body trained.
So before I get into it, because this is how I show people that want to get into it. What kind of account do you want to open? Is this something for like get money back in a few years or retirement?
Like a couple years at a time. I'd like to be able to use it,
So it'll be a personal account.
but I would like for it to evolve into having some stuff that I could just forget about for a while. I eventually even want to get into like MF investing.
I would
Like
still
I want
stick
us to
a
have
personal
investment
then.
accounts on MF's name.
For sure, personal. Excuse me. So 401k Roth is the best one long term. I don't recommend 401k unless it's part of your job or they offer something. So that's why I have it. My job offers it. And then I have the personal one. So for you, it'd be a personal account. And then as far as which app, honestly, I would say Vanguard, Webull, or Robinhood. Those are all, even Fidelity, those four are all good for personal. I think Webull's the best one, honestly, even though I use Robinhood. Robinhood had a whole thing with AMC.
I've heard about that.
Yes, that was not great, and I was part of that. Everyone was trying to invest, and I think they were the only among some other big broker companies that like froze and they're like, you can't buy anymore. There was no reason to do that. And it became this whole court case, and I think it's still ongoing. Webull, though, Webull let people buy in. Everyone that was buying with Webull, like, made money. And, like, everyone who was trying with Robinhood didn't. They lost a lot of clients.
I think I remember that.
But back to investing. I use Robinhood because I'm too much with them. At some point, I'll probably switch. But also, they're just user-friendly. As far as the types of stocks, you can have I think ETFs is what the word I was looking for, or those collective ones, kind of SPY.
Mm-hmm.
Again, don't quote me. I'm not a financial advisor. And then you can just buy normal day trading, like this stock's probably gonna go up. I'll buy it. And then what I do is dividends. I'm very, very dividends heavy, unless I believe in the stock is gonna go up. And I got example of both. So I'll show you my number one. This is the best stock I think to buy right now.
That is how much it costs?
Yep. It's about $10. It's called Rhythm, RITM. It's an investment group. And basically every $10.60 you have from them, every 3 months, they'll pay you a quarter. So in 1 year, if you put $40, they'll give you $1 back, give or take.
Every year, for every $40.
Makes you $1.
Yeah.
So $80 is $2.
Yep. And then the next one. This is another.
Sounds slow. Can you explain
Slow?
the magic behind that?
As far as
Put in like a big ass.
I put in $1,000. Oh wait, let's do one that's divisible by 40.
give me any money amount.
I put in 1,200.
1,200.
60
All right.
minutes.
Let me get the calculator. 1,200 divided. Let's say it's worth $11 because that's more real.
Oh, okay, let's do
And that's how many shares you're gonna buy. So about 109.
times 10.
And then
Times 11.
so every 3 months you should be getting about $27. And this is a for sure thing.
And how much money was that invested?
The 1,200
Okay. So you put in 1,200, you get 27.
every 3 months. What 27?
But this only makes sense. This only works if you're putting in a lot of money.
Yeah.
Even then, I mean, in a year, those 1,200, you're gonna get 109 back. The 109's for sure. Think about that long term. You don't have to invest this again. Next year, you just get 109.
Does that 109 add to the 12?
You can set it up like that. So you can have it where I'll buy again.
And then it's just getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah. So I think my magic number is 300,000.
Wait, what?
What?
Let me explain the logic behind that.
Yeah, what's the concept of that number? The context of that number.
It's just I was trying to figure out how much dividends can I get where I can like not really worry about having the career, like I don't need to work or like stress out. It's kind of basically my second job by itself.
How much do you have in rhythm right now?
I want to say 12,000.
Can you do the math for me and tell me what you get every quarter from that?
Yes. And I just invested it because I used something else. So January should be my payoff, but 12,000? I just picture again I'm playing Candy Crush.
Delicious.
I'll get $300 every 3 months from those 12,000.
So about 1,200 every year.
Yeah.
And so obviously you put more into them
Yeah.
as time goes on. But then the goal would be to like have a lot of stuff that you're just getting checks from,
Yeah. Or just a higher amount. So
or just a higher amount from
Yeah.
those few.
yeah. So I came out with 300 as my magic number. If I can put 300,000 into rhythm, I'd be okay because
Yeah, what would you get every 3 months with that?
let me see.
Is there a limit? Like, can't people say, "Oh, there's only 100 stocks of this"?
I mean, there's a certain amount, but
You're not.
everything's constantly being traded.
Oh.
No one. It's not like everyone's just like, I'm not gonna sell today. It's very rare. That would give me about 6,800 every 3 months. And if we break it down, let's break it down. 6,800 every 3 months. Whoa, and that's about 2,200 a month, which I feel like I get paid more in my career, but as far as like a regular minimum job, I feel like that's a solid number, I think.
Is it possible for the amount of dividends you get, like that math, is it possible to evolve over the time you take to reach 300K to where like you're actually getting more dividends per?
It's up to the company,
Oh, okay.
but normally it'll stay steady.
They announce it. Hey, we're gonna
Yes.
up the dividends. We've been doing good.
I haven't seen.
How do you keep track?
I just keep track as far as what they give out. Like every 3 months, whatever I get, I'll be like, is it still 0.25? Yes.
A quarter for every one you have.
Every share.
So the math you just did right now was 300,000 times.
Divided.
Hold on. Stop. Divided by the price.
Yeah.
And then you multiply that by a quarter.
Yep.
Okay, got you. And that's how dividends essentially works.
Yeah.
Is that your biggest recommendation because a quarter is actually a very good amount to be getting from a share?
Yeah. That's very, very good.
What do you usually get from one share of a dividend? Or
Like on the average stock, it's on percentages, but
is this also? Are you also considering like it's a quarter in relation to $10.60?
yes.
Okay.
So
So some you might be getting 6 cents for a stock that costs like $30. Is that possible?
I think there's some stocks, some really well known stocks where like you pay $100 and you'll only get like, oh, Apple's one of them. I have some Apple and we can compare their stock. I think right now they're worth 232.
To have one share of Apple.
Yes, and let's see how their dividends are paying out. And they pay a quarter.
Yeah, but for $200.
Yes. The big difference is for Apple, it's one of those like the stock is going up. So I bought the stock at 100. Apple's one of those where like it's one of the top 500. So for them, it's not about the dividends, but
It's
just
always going to go up. It's about the
like
security.
yeah, the security as far as the price of the stock itself is going up consistently. Again, not a for sure.
I learned that Tesla is actually not one of the top 500.
I didn't know
It
that.
goes in and out a lot.
That makes sense though. They're very volatile for like their stock. It's
What's crazy is you'd think they wouldn't be. Like they'd always just be.
Yeah.
They're just always doing crazy shit.
But that rhythm one, I think that one's good consistently because it's such a cheap price, and like, I don't know how long it'll take Apple to maybe, like, if I put those 12,000, I don't know how long till it comes back, where I can sell the stock and I get that money back.
Oh, it's
With-
not 3 months with them.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's not, or
You don't know
it's
when
with
you
a
get it?
quarter,
Oh,
but
it's 25 cents. But when? How frequent?
every 3 months.
Oh.
But as far as like, you want to buy Apple because the stock price. So that one's like in 10 years, you're going to want to sell the stock. And you're going to make your money from how it changed.
And that's because Apple is more concerned about just it always being green
Yeah.
instead of dividends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you wouldn't buy Apple for dividends. You would buy it
Right.
for the high chance
Longevity?
its stock price is going to like.
Similar to a SPY.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So then you can kind of bunch them up together.
Yeah. Cool. There was another one. Let me see.
Another dividends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Rhythm is the example of what you said. You had 2 examples, and you said you have example for both.
Apple was the other one. That's the one you want to like. I'll buy this because the stock price is gonna go up. Same with Nvidia. That one's the artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're gonna give 0.03 of a dividend yield, but I'm not buying them for the dividends. I'm buying them because I believe this dollar amount they right now it's 142. I think it's gonna keep going up.
Is this a heart decision, or is this a strategy decision?
Strategy. Everything Robinhood strategy. I think
Oh, okay.
all my hard ones are like probably my Roth 401k, and we'll look at those right now too. But I got into Nvidia. They had something called a split, so I think they ended up splitting by 10 or 20. I don't remember, but it should be 10. So at some point they were actually worth 1,200, and then they're like, "Hey, we need to split it so we can just have more shares in the market, and like make more money." But back then, like at the beginning of the year, this was before the split, they were worth like maybe $100, and then throughout the year it's like 200, 300, 500. That's when I started looking at them. I was like, man, $500, that's insane. And then it was 600, 700, and I was like, I need to buy some. So I bought some, 800, 900, ended up going up to 1,200. They did their split, and then their split they went back to 100, but the amount of shares I got multiplied by 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they take care of the split, and then now it's at 142.
Nvidia, damn.
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those that like it's artificial intelligence that they're the main.
Is OpenAI also public? Can you do OpenAI?
As far as like
Their ChatGPT and all that. Like, can you buy OpenAI?
I don't know. Should look into that.
Nvidia seems like it's the more like powerhouse though. Because what else do
Yeah.
they do? The chips, right? The
Yeah.
Intel. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds like it's not going nowhere. But neither is Apple. Now they've got
Yeah.
M1 chips. Like it's just Nvidia. I wonder if they lost anything when Apple introduced the M1 chips.
Do you know when they did that?
Probably like 2020, 2021.
Let's see.
Oh, but it's gonna look like COVID.
Oh, true.
I can't tell you exactly when the first M1 product came out, but I also am just hypothesizing whether that had an impact because I have a feeling like okay, you drop, Apple drops Intel chips from their machines now, but at the same time, Nvidia starts to really introduce AI, so it probably like negated itself in a way too.
How often does that happen? Where like your competitor comes out with a technology that's just so much better that it hurts the stock.
Oh yeah, what do you understand about the market by your 10 years of investing? Like, do you understand stuff like that?
Yeah, but those are hard hitting questions, man. That's got me sweating. What do you know about that direction that's going up? I mean, I keep it in mind. Same thing. Any news, I use Reddit a lot, especially for investing. But any crazy news when we went to like war, now the elections, anything in a mass scale is just like somehow this is affecting the stock market. And I think that's true for any news out there. Even with Taylor Swift when she like became the number one and like all her traveling consistently.
Oh, the
But-
jets.
Yeah,
All the
I was gonna
planes?
say. And then what was another big one that happened? When
Diddy a thing? Do you think that affected the stock market
I'm
at all?
sure there is. I don't know how.
Or like a
but-
Weinstein thing, or a Epstein thing? Do you think these things affect
For
the stock
sure.
market in
I
any
don't
way?
know how. The wine I can just like you just have
Like,
to
that's
like
Hollywood right there.
yeah, you
dude.
just gotta think and be like, man, this was a good one. I invested in glass and during COVID times because it was also another
What,
election
like a
time.
glass manufacturer.
Yeah, because that was also during the protests. Cause
All the broken glass.
yeah, and then like the next year, glass went up like crazy. 'cause-
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
that was one where I was just like, man, I should probably look into glass. But I'm sure with the Weinstein, I don't know if like studios. I'm sure there's a way to like invest with them and like
You should probably invest in oil right now before
Yeah.
Israel and Iran go into full-out war.
probably it just this is a big thing. The election's gonna happen, so it's probably gonna be between the two main candidates.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
Yes.
and they're gonna handle it
These
very
fuckers.
differently.
Yeah.
So I was talking to someone like, and they own oil, and they're like, I sold all my oil because they think
It's just gonna.
they think Kamala's gonna win, and if Kamala wins, then they're gonna like probably regulate and like it'll be not good for you. But if you think Trump's gonna win, maybe right now's a good time to buy oil, or even maybe like a month or just before the war. And like,
Yeah, because it's gonna skyrocket
yeah,
With Trump, it would skyrocket.
or a war.
more than likely. But it's just like looking at things like that. That's how I consider. I don't look for it. It's kind of how you say with like Apple. Like I don't look at what Apple's.
The M chips.
Yeah. But if I see some crazy news, I do try to think about like how can I make some money out of this. But yeah. Oh, I was gonna show you another stock. This is one. This was my main stock. Maybe whenever I found out about it, 2-3 years ago. Let me see if I can give you a date.
This is your main stock? Is that what you said?
This was my former main stock.
Oh, okay.
Rhythm is that right now.
Yeah, Rhythm's my. So I bought it first in 2022. So around this time I was like, man, I just learned about this new stock and it's amazing. And it gives me about it gives out about $1 per share. At the time when I was buying it, it was $40. So it's almost the equivalent of the quarter one. When you like do the math.
Oh.
But at that time I didn't know about that other stock. And like at that time it was worth $7. So maybe it wasn't even worth looking into. Maybe it wasn't giving those dividends.
Damn.
Cool.
$1 per share though.
That's wild. And then right now it went up to $50. And then I always try to
$50 per share.
yeah, and I bought
How
it
much is the share?
Like how much it gives out?
Now, how much does it
How much
cost? to
was it
buy
when you
shit?
bought it?
Oh, it costs $50,
It costs $50. Oh, and
but it gives
you,
out $1 every 3 months. When I bought it, it was at I think 42.
still $1 though.
Yeah. So now it's more of like this is one of those like perfect. It worked out. So the stock price went up, and it's still giving me dividends. So I'm still getting that dollar, and if I ever want to sell this, I'll make that. Right now it would be like $7 difference.
Are you planning on selling that specific one? Or you gonna hold?
Not at the moment, honestly. Unless I would want to invest in more rhythm, just make that my main one, which might happen. It's just such a good deal. Because when you do the math again for this one, now it's like $1 return every 3 months for every $50, because that's the price. When you compare it side to side to rhythm, it should be worth. It's only convenient if it's worth about $41 or something like that.
How many of everything that you have invested are you taking out, or is the majority of it getting reinvested?
I think all of it is getting reinvested. There was only one time I bought a house at the beginning of the year. So 2 months before, that was the only time I probably took out money. But for the most part, I try to keep it in. I put in less because I try to put in a certain amount. But like whenever it pays out, like, oh, I don't need to put in that money this month. I'll use that for something else.
How easy is it? Is it pretty easy?
As far as taking it out,
Like, yeah, and then like setting it back up.
super easy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I think Robinhood and Webull, those are the best personal investing apps.
Can I ask, as a bit of a left turn?
Go for it.
Okay. You first started with the Roth,
Yeah.
but then it ended up growing into more stuff. But can we dive a little deep? Not a little deep, however deep, whatever it ends up being. But can we just dive into, because I'd like to use this as a chance to just kind of like ask as to how you perceive the health challenges that you faced that even inspired you to start investing some money. When we talk, we're super close now, so we're kind of desensitized to our conversations, but I've never really like straightforward asked you how life-changing it was from your perspective. Physically, you know, you endure your changes and everything like that, but like mentally, do you look at life differently now, or was this one of those things? Because you've always seemed to be very level-headed. Always.
This is for all my like kidney stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. In case anyone didn't know, I had a kidney transplant. I was very sick as a kid. Very, very sick. I'll give a little background as far as like me growing up. I grew up relatively healthy. Actually, this is a little funny story. Not funny, but funny now in hindsight. So when I was born, I had the umbilical cord around my neck.
Man.
And it was not looking good for me. Like I wasn't getting oxygen to my brain. And this is what I've been told. I don't know. I've never been able to like fact check this, but my parents swear that like it was a miracle that there was a doctor who specialized in whatever was happening to me, and he was able to help out. And then I was like born healthy after that.
Ooh, that boy probably caught some bands for that shit. Being specialized in that boy probably got like a couple hundred racks.
For sure.
Straight up.
And then I was pretty healthy for the most part until I was 8. And then I started throwing up. I was in 3rd grade. I was throwing up just in the, like in recess and like just on my day to day. We went to the doctor and they're like, this is weird, but we're pretty sure his kidneys are messed up. We're going to do one more blood test just to be sure. And then like 1 week later, they're like, yeah, his kidneys are failing. And This was in 3rd grade. I was a little kid. I didn't think much of it in hindsight. It was just like, I'm just sick. Oh well. And I did about 1 year of dialysis. I would go to. There's 2 types of dialysis. There's one where you go to the clinic 3 times out of the week, and you're just hooked up to this machine for about, I want to say, 8 to 10 hours, and that one's draining. That one's tough. Then you can do this one where you're hooked up to a machine at home. It's not as draining to the person. It's just you're hooked up to a machine overnight, and like while you sleep, it's doing its thing. And I did that for about a year as a kid.
What is it doing? Do you know? Do you have an understanding of what it's doing?
It's clearing out all the toxins. So it's basically working as a
kidney.
As a kidney. Yeah. So it takes out it puts in liquid and then it takes it out but flushes it out.
Is the clinic one really draining because it's trying to cover the ground of 7 days within 3?
I think so. I don't know the science behind, but yeah, that would make sense. But I remember it was exhausting.
You did the clinic one when you were younger, at around 8?
I did both.
Okay.
I started with that one, and then we went to the home one. And then I did 1 year of dialysis. I got my kidney transplant from my aunt. She basically saved my life. I should give her a call. Shout out. Yeah, Olga.
There you go.
And then
Did that fast track the whole finding the kidney process? Like, if we were to match, would I have been able to just been like, hey, fuck all these motherfuckers that are waiting in line. I'm trying to give it to him.
Yes.
I know that it shouldn't be that abrasive, obviously.
No, I get you. No, the way it works is you get on a list. So the list is basically for people that are donors and are, like, unfortunately pass away.
Yeah.
And then, or if you know someone, like, then they can, like, just be for you. They do this other cool thing where, like, hey, I want to be a donor. You want to be a donor for me, but we're not a match. As long as you're willing to give a kidney, other people will
in their place?
Yeah, so you can, like, crisscross. So, like, I have a different...
The plug.
Yeah, there's a different...
Kidney plug.
There's a different duo, and they're like, hey, I'm trying to give a kidney to my friend, but I'm not a match. And he's like, but he's a match to me, and you happen to be a match to their person. So, like,
oh, okay.
We'll just crisscross kidneys.
Straight up black market.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. No, but it's really cool. There's also a rule.
Is it a miracle that your aunt matched, or do you have a pretty chill blood type? Is it about the blood type?
It's blood type and just how the
compatible the organ is.
I think it's the white blood cells, like whatever your immune system is.
Did that make it like very lucky that she was able to match, or?
I think so. They just say as a family members, it's more than likely.
It's in genes.
Yeah. That's why they always like family members. If you want to donate, you're pretty solid, and more than likely they'll find a match there. If you don't, then it becomes more like if you know someone with this blood type, there's a high chance, but you still gotta get tested. But yeah. Oh, there's a cool rule where in the whole country, because when you're on the list, it's by region. So El Paso's really fortunate, I think, because you're on the New Mexico region and you're also on the San Antonio region. So you can be on 2 lists. Technically, even 3 if you go north. Mm-hmm. And the more lists, the more chances. So it's not like, hey, Kevin, someone passed away in New York. You for sure get the kidney. No, it's like, I'm not on that list. The exception is there's something as a perfect match. If there's a kidney in the whole country that's a perfect match to you, like, it goes to you. So that's pretty cool.
How does it feel knowing you have? Let me know if this is an intrusive question. Knowing you have somebody else's kidney in your body. Everybody always like theorizes what would happen if you did a brain transplant, but like,
I feel me, honestly.
But like mentally, did it ever make you feel weird? Because you had this young. Can we fast track to? I believe you had another one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On that fast track.
You don't have to just fast track though. We can kind of like go through it.
it wasn't like when I got this kidney, I didn't just get a,
This is around
like,
9, 10.
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't feel like, I was still in trouble. I was still like going to the hospital.
It's not just the kidneys; it's also the immune system as well. Right?
Yeah.
That's also like
So I still went to the hospital for at least one more year, like every month. And it wasn't, I feel so silly, but like I was a kid, I didn't know. So after a year of going to the hospital, doctors were like, "We don't know why you keep coming back. Like this should have worked." And a doctor straight up asked me, "Hey, are you holding your pee?" And I was like, "Yeah." Is that like, to me as a kid, like that was normal, and they think,
school, all that shit.
yeah. Or I'm watching TV and I was just like, "I'll go pee after the show." Like I'll just hold it, and I did that so often that like it was messing up my kidneys,
Damn.
and like I didn't know that.
You were waiting till like it was hurting.
Well, it wouldn't hurt, but like it's not good to
Yeah,
hold it,
obviously,
like
yeah,
in
yeah.
general. And I guess like maybe 30 minutes here every day
Yeah.
just takes a toll. And like once they figure that out, they're like, "Oh, for sure, don't do that." And I was like, oh, "Okay, no one." And then ever since then, like I try to go when I really need to go, and like I didn't go to the hospital back for those reasons. I did go back for, I got pneumonia during that time. This is part of the, like, I just had a bad immune system, and then I also got shingles during that time. I struggled with like bronchitis and asthma during that time.
This is between like 9 to
Like 2016. Yeah.
like 9 to about like 22 years old.
Yeah. And like I still live my day-to-day life. I also mentioned this on to someone else, but during this time I became
On
very
another pod, I imagine.
something like that.
Fuck no, Kevin.
I became very responsible, and this is where I guess I just grew up a certain way. So as soon as you have a transplant, you're on medication for life. So starting at 9, I was still like, you need to take your medicine every single day, or you could potentially like lose it again and die. And like that was heavy stuff as a kid. I remember that, and I remember it was even heavier because I didn't take my medicine, and like I could take 90%, but there was a specific pill that like I just can't. It would like get stuck on my throat. It was too big. I didn't like it, so I would always like hide it. And then
But it was like the most important one, probably, huh?
it was one of them,
Yeah.
and like it was just a lot of like learning pains. Like it doesn't matter, you need to take it.
Sorry that you're 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I also had this very like weight on me, and I've mentioned this before to some people, where like, especially as I got older, it just became more real. Like, hey, if you don't take your medicine, like you're basically slowly killing yourself. And like it's tough because you know how I don't know, you just have like a rough day, and like you just go home and like, I don't know. I compare it to like brushing your teeth. Like everyone for the most part likes to brush your teeth every day. Does it happen every day?
I skip a day.
Yeah, if you skip a day, it's like, and that's not the worst thing ever. But for me, it was like if I skip a day on taking my medication, like I'm like, maybe basically the way I had it in my head, like I'm saying I'm okay with living one day less. And like some days you're just so tired and just like, I want to go back to bed, or like just go straight to bed. And like I never had the luck of doing that. And on days where like I would do it, like it was relaxing, but in the following morning I was like, man, I didn't take my medicine, and now I like have that weight again. Like I screwed
And
up.
it just
Like,
carries all day.
yeah, and like a lot of that, just trying to fight off that weight or like just prevent it and other things. I feel like that made me automatically responsible. I also automatically, I wasn't like a party teenager. Like I didn't drink for a long time, and even then, I don't drink too much. I would say now, maybe once every 3 months, maybe. But back then, I didn't actually start drinking until, I don't know, 20s, early 20s. And even then, that was more like at my own pace. Because I remember going to parties and I would carry a Gatorade or a Snapple with me. And luckily, I think I had a really good group of friends where like everyone just knew like Kevin doesn't drink. He's got kidney problems. He's got medical, and everyone like I never felt peer pressure to drink. And people would always be like, "Nah, you gotta drink. You gotta have a shot." And my friends would step in or like, "Nah, he doesn't. Like he's good." And I would go to places with my water bottles. Snapples was a big thing, so I'm sure I could probably find some, but there's some pictures where like everyone's drinking and there's bottles everywhere, and I'm just like in the corner with like a Snapple tea. And then it was just like I'm there for the fun and the vibes, and people were very fortunate and not like peer pressuring me.
Yeah, they're chill about it.
Yeah. And then as I got older, then I started getting sick again. I want to say 2014. That's when, 2013. It was my first year of college. And then I got shingles. When I got shingles, it hit me really, really bad. But it was also kind of like good because that's also when they found out, excuse me, I was, what's it called? My kidneys weren't doing good. At this point, I was 1 year into college. I had just turned 18 during that period. And when you turn 18, you lose your insurance. So when I lost my insurance, I stopped going to my doctor. And I didn't stop taking care of myself, but I stopped getting checked. And that was also during a hard time because during that time, my insurance wasn't taking care of my medications. And I remember I felt bad. But my mom, I think she like went a little into debt for like 2 or 3 months just trying to pay my medications. And I remember one of them was like at least $500. And my mom like minimum wage job, always kind of hustling. And I also felt like a burden to her. That was one of those moments where like it added to the weight. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'm sick. And like, if I don't get a job, like I'm not gonna help her out. So that's also when I started working for one of the first times I got a 40-hour job. That was at I was a third party working with Walmart kinda, and that's when I had my own money, and I was like, I'll pay for my medicine. Like you don't have to worry about mom. We also found out during this time like so many programs once you turn 18, like there's a program that can help you pay insurance, or like you don't have to pay for the premium like good medication, which still kind of sucks, but that's a whole other issue I have with health insurance. But insurance, but during this time, I got shingles. Shingles is the worst pain ever, ever. Uh, but I got checked out, and they're like, "Hey, your kidneys are failing again. You're gonna need to go in dialysis." And I was like, "Damn, all right." Got back into dialysis, and there was a whole money ordeal here too. When you go into, once you're considered stage 5, you're considered disabled, and you start getting Social Security for disability. During this time, for whatever reason, Social Security didn't want to give me the money, and I was considered disabled for 3 years, and this whole time, I was having a hard time. I'm going to school, and like I ended up working to just like pay for medication. And it wasn't until the third year that like Social Security was like, "Oh snap, you're on a kidney transplant list. Oh, we screwed up. We gotta give you like back pay." So I got this lump sum. So during that time, that's when I started looking into more investment and like just learning. That's when I got into crypto, and it was also like I didn't have to work too much, so I didn't stress about the hours. But I also started getting worse health wise. And at this point, I'm like, UTEP, I'm going to school, and I'm working very little. But while I was doing school and working, I would throw up, and like I felt like crap. I don't know if you remember, but
Sure do.
I for sure remember I had a class with Jesus, And like every time I would get out of the class, I would step outside and just throw up. And he would just wait for me and like, "Are you good? Are you good?" And I would just like do my thumbs up like, "Yeah, I'm good." And throwing up feels amazing when you're like, because it clears out all your toxins. And like the more your toxins are in your system, like you just feel weak and terrible. So as soon as I would throw up, I'd feel like a new person right there. And same thing with work. I remember like selling glasses, and I'd be like, "Excuse me for 1 minute," and then I would go to the break room, and I would throw up in the break room. Or I was working in the lab with Mark. I remember another moment, and I was like, "I just need a minute, Mark," and I threw up right next to him into the trash can. And he's like, "Are you good? You want to go home?" And I was like, "I just need to throw up, and then I'm back to normal." And that was my like period there until I got really sick. And this is coming on to when I get the transplant, but I was getting really depressed and really just like questioning if I was gonna make it and stuff like that. So that's also when I took a. It was getting so much where I was throwing up so much where I was like, I can't go to school. And at the same time, I was just like, I'm not gonna do school. I'm gonna start like just enjoying life, because it was just like I couldn't see the light, you know. And that's when I got into theater again. It was like that's one of my small passions. And I shaved my head for my first play I was gonna be in. And during the first show is when I got the call, the transplant call. It's like, "Hey, you need to come to San Antonio, like right now or as soon as possible." And I was like, "Well, let me book a plane." But I had just shaved my head. I was in the middle of the show, and I told the whole team like, "Hey, Cass, I got my transplant, yay! So I'm not gonna be on the show for the next 3 months. You gotta find a replacement today. Sorry." And they were very understanding. They're like, "That's one of the best
It
excuses."
fucking
Now.
better be, Jesus Christ, dude.
That's one of the
That's
best
the
excuses
worst.
to ditch like
Yeah.
a 2 or 3 month project and just like when it was just launching. And then there's also a funny story because I shaved my head. When I went to San Antonio, all the nurses were asking my mom, like, or they would ask me, and they're like, why did we shave your head? You're the kidney transplant." And I was like, "No, I did this." And it was a weird haircut. It's like I didn't just go shave. It was a horseshoe haircut.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I remember it now. Exactly.
And then they was just like, "You did that yourself?" And it was like hair only here. And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay." And then as soon as I got my transplant, man, it was night and day. Like I remember going to sleep, and when I woke up, like I felt better, like 100%. And I met someone a few weeks ago, or like talked to them. They were going through the same thing, and they just came back to work, and they had a kidney transplant, and we're just sharing some stories. And the second you wake up from a transplant, like you feel 100%, 1,000 times better. Like I feel like I could run a mile as soon as I woke up, as opposed to every day I was just dragging like everywhere. And we're having the same struggles because he's a hard worker, and like we love just being busy. He was telling me I had an issue with a physical therapist where like I can do it myself, and like I would try to do it myself, and they're like, "You're not supposed to." And it was very hard for me. There's also a little funny story of me just being a jerk to them, but it's basically like you need to follow the pace we're setting for you, not the pace. Because again, I feel like $1,000,000. So it's like
Oh, true.
you're telling me to get up. Like that ain't no problem now. But they're like, you just had major surgery. Like it doesn't feel like a problem, but you can't do it yourself. And that little story was just like you would have to do 2 laps, and it just happened to be during a time where like, hey, I'm trying to do something, or I was busy. I was busy at the hospital, even though I'm a patient. And they're like, "No, you have to do it now." And I was like, "Can it wait?" I think I was watching something, honestly.
Oh, dude, what a dick.
I know. And then I think they had originally passed on me. And then now I was distracted by something, and I was like,
bastard.
I know. And they're like, we just need you to do 2 laps. And I was just giving them a hard time of like, I can do 2 laps. Just like, let me do something right now or like get back to me. And they're like, you need to do it now. And I was just like, they put me in a mood. And I was like, all right, I'll do your 2 laps and I'll do like 200 more. And then I did my 2 laps and they're like, all right, that's enough. I was like, no, I told you I'm going to do 200 more. And I was just being a jerk. And I was just doing laps. And they're like, hey, you don't need to like prove anything. I was like, I do, because y'all don't think like I'm just like neglecting my training. I'm like, I just told you give me a moment, but I'm gonna show you what I can do. And anywho, I ended up being an ass, completely unnecessary in hindsight, but it's just something that happened, and I think it's kind of funny now. But like, they were just trying to work with me, and like, shout out to all the nurses and doctors that in my life. I think I've only had maybe one bad nurse, but everyone else, like, I know for sure I've had a lot of good nurses.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I can't remember names, but I can remember like these moments where like I can see their face and like they helped me during that moment. So going back to like how everything impacted me, struggling and living through that, it just made me by default responsible, because I'm telling you that weight even now is still on me. Like I can't miss my medications. So I set all these systems, have my alarm set up to like just remind me about my medication. So, excuse me. On that same note, everything I use for reminders, I also use in my day-to-day. So Alexa's like a huge helpful assistant to me. I use her as far as like, hey, every day remind me to take my medication. But also, hey, remind me I gotta do this report out, or like remind me to do this. As far as financially, I was struggling as a teenager for like medication. So I always think like I never want to be in that situation again where like my mom, she went into debt a little just because she had to pay medications for 3 months. That's how long it took. So it took like 3 months of her actually just covering me. And in those 3 months, she went into debt. And it was just like, dang, I gotta be better. I gotta be more responsible, make more income. And that's a big reason of what, like, I went the career route, because I always look up to you, because you follow your dreams and stuff like that. And I for the most part, try to do that. But, you know, one of the things, if I was perfectly healthy, even if I was poor, if I was perfectly healthy, I would probably go like the theater route, or like the English teacher route, or something with writing or drawing or poetry, where like the income's probably not that great day to day, but I would be like living my dreams. But instead I had to like, nah, even if I go that route, like the struggles I experience, like I need security in like career and finance. I'll still follow my dreams, but unfortunately, just how the cards were dealt, like I'm not gonna go to Hollywood and like try to be an actor right now. Maybe down the line when I'm even more comfortable, but I think that's why like I went this route, and I'm ultimately more careful and more level-headed, as you say, like when I do everything. That was a long speeching moment. Did that answer your stuff?
Yeah. I was gonna give you an applause right there. That's a good. Oh man, I want to add. I don't want to end on bad notes, but I do think that this is an answer that just to further this chapter real quick and close off on this, because it's not about you, but being in the situations that you've been, in a nice or a bad way, like however you end up seeing it. Do you think you've unnaturally or like subconsciously or consciously, like when someone complains about their problems sometimes? Rightfully so. I guess what I'm trying to learn is like, do you think people should be just like a lot chiller themselves because they don't really understand how close to the finish line they might get,
Yeah,
without them wanting to. You didn't want to get there around 9.
yeah,
So now that you're here approaching 30, you know, are you thinking to yourself like, when you hear people like your peers, people around your age, your generation, like when you hear them kind of maybe bitching about the bullshit, you know, do you ever kind of just like wish you can shake someone out of that shit? Does it frustrate? Does the generation ever frustrate you because
Yes.
we're around a lot of entitlement? I think I even am at fault for feeling entitled sometimes, but I think it's a generational thing. Do you ever feel frustration by that?
To an extent, I think it just depends on the situation. Um, Even with everything that happened to me, I also think there's like a war going on right now, and I can't even imagine what those people are going on. So
True.
it like
True.
that.
You're looking at someone else's worst
Yeah,
situation.
I'm always looking at the worst of the worst, and that's where it is right now.
But did your personal situation getting really like close to the end, did that help you become aware of this? I think a lot of us aren't even aware of it because we haven't even gotten tested.
I
You
think,
get what I'm saying?
yeah, I think just from the beginning, this stuff happened to me. It made me like, when anything bad happens, I think you just naturally look at like at yourself, and then you look at everyone like their situation. So when I got my like first transplant, I always thought like I'm looking at the other people, but then I would look at the news and be like, and I'm going through this, but like I would also be learning about the whole world during this time, and like,
Like 9/11
uh,
just happened like a year or two
yeah,
before.
I would also learn like, yeah, I need a kidney transplant, but I wouldn't know people that have cancer and like
Yeah.
some other stuff, and they're kids too, and they're like, they probably have it worse, and then there's unfortunately there's kids that are terminal, and like during this time I'm like, damn, I have it rough, but someone always has it rougher, and like you always got to think in a global scale. I mean, at some point even space, but yeah, I do see, depending on the situation, I'm a big complainer, and I vent myself, but I also like am very aware like of what I'm complaining, and like I also like get that reality check. Like, yeah, I'm complaining about like my internet's out. Damn. But I also think like, hey, it's only my internet. I still have water and food. So I think people should vent, but you gotta reality check yourself too, like how good we have it. And that's what I mean. Like, it's been months for that war, and I've seen some of the war stuff and some of the kids there, and like their parents died, and like his kid's by himself, and like no one for sure can say he's gonna get taken care of.
They're finding like kids under a bunch of concrete,
Yeah.
and then when they pull them out, they're like just confused.
Yeah.
They're so shell shocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like, unfortunately,
I kind of know these things, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not contributing at all to like, making that aware. I'm kind of in like, I'm in one of those spaces right now where I feel like I'm so caught up in my own shit.
yeah,
I don't have the mental capacity to really worry about what's going on thousands and thousands of miles away.
I get you. And I feel like we should. Even I'm the same way, honestly. I'm not a big social media person in general,
Yeah.
but if I had more of a medium or one way, I would like spotlight. And I don't know. I also think there's like, what can we do? And then it ultimately comes down to like politics and things like that, and like electing. But even then, I'm not a fan of the two main people running. But at some point, like all this frustration, I feel like it's gonna blow up at some point, and that's just like in general. And we could already see a little bit, I think, a few years ago, all that stuff would happen with the Capitol,
Oh yeah.
and like whether you're with them or not, it's just people are frustrated, and like I would like our political system to change for a better one. A lot of stuff that George Washington said, like, don't have two parties. It's not a good idea. It's like, it's not a good idea. But I don't know. It's one of those, like, there's this huge problems. I don't know how to fix them as myself. I'll contribute a little if I can. And same thing is with the war. Like, this is a big problem. I don't know if I can handle. I got my own problems.
But
But
you still want to contribute.
if I could, yeah. But at the very least, I think it needs to be acknowledged. But yeah.
There's a clap going off right now.
Oh, I don't know if you guys are able to hear.
There's like people applauding right now.
Oh snap.
I put applause. I'm gonna call it right there, Kevs.
Okay. I feel like we didn't talk too much.
I know, that's the thing.
We're approaching 2 now.
But if we go into 4 hours, no one's gonna watch it.
But if we do a part 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We leave it on the table. That's a little bit of a look through the wall of like our operation. That's like the more transparent side, where it's just like this conversation needs to be digested, and so I want to go ahead and give it into chapters. You're the first special episode, Kevs.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have a special white border.
Oh yeah, a color
snap.
like
The
around.
color changes by episode depending on the industry, but like special ones are completely inverted.
Hell yeah.
The audience has already known this by this point of the episode. Yeah. No, Kev. I seriously though. I know we haven't even dove in. We've barely scratched the surface, but this is great because like MFHQ low key, I'm starting to see where we can string all the episodes together, like with the concepts and topics that we cover. So what I would like to do is have a substring of special episodes where we're like tackling the journey of hybrid, pretty much.
The nukes.
Yeah.
The nukes.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's what the special episodes are reserved for.
Hell
And like
yeah.
the very special ones that have joined us along the way, the Israels, you know,
Heck yeah.
those
The
types of-
Israel.
where like
Like
you're
it-
you're probably like you'll probably be, you may or may not be the first sequel that we end up having, but it's because like those white episodes are very strung along conversations
Yeah.
of very specific guests. Because at the end of the day, I think one thing that I've been, me personally, as we've been going along, I'm trying to bounce off the guests' answers more. Because I'm intentionally trying to give a little bit more of mine and David's. David a little bit vicariously through me, but also through himself because he has his own mic.
Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to show them where we really come from a lot more. What I mean by that is like that valley,
Lower Valley.
upbringing, that valley upbringing, whether it be our sense of humor or the references that we make. But these right here, these special inverted episodes, they're gonna be like, you're helping us do that as well. So
Cool.
that's why, yes, I understand. I'm aware. We haven't even scratched the surface.
I was
yet,
gonna
Kevs.
say, we didn't even go into the Roth for one.
I know. I know. And we'll be able to. I think I was a little selfish and I wanted to focus more on the Robin Hood part for right now.
Nah, it's fine.
No, we'll get
Did
the
I-
sequels.
Did I answer the finance stuff?
Yeah,
you
dude.
wanted?
This episode is only
Okay.
gonna have like 3 chapters, dude. It's gonna have a big deep dive. It's gonna have a big deep dive into finances, and it's gonna have the complete journey of a kidney transplant. And it's just gonna be like 2 chapters, pretty much, dude. It's gonna
You
go.
said 3.
Oh, sorry. It'll be like housekeeping. The third one.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and then closing words. Ah.
Oh no, that's 4.
No, it's gonna be a good episode because it has
This
a
is
special,
gonna be its own.
it has a
chapter.
special tone to it, dude. It does. Thank you though.
Blooper.
Thank you for joining us, Kevs, for real. For making the time to go in and talk to us and also being open and down to tell a little bit more about your backstory.
Of course.
Appreciate that.
Thank you
Dude,
for having me.
I love that the biggest thing that I value the most, and I'll shut up after this. Because I have to close the show. The biggest thing I value is that through this conversation, I still got to learn some things I still don't know yet. Thank you.
Cool.
Straight up.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for making the time. You're a busy guy.
course.
You're an important guy.
To us.
Thanks.
I don't know about everybody
I
else.
appreciate
but
that.
to us.
Yeah.
You're still like,
You're the boy. Straight up.
Yo,
Thank
y'all
you,
the
Kevs.
boys.
For real, man.
Converse.
Thank you.
We'll have part 2 real soon.
All right.
We'll keep this conversation going. And I'll get on Xbox Live more often. I just got Hogwarts for $25.
it's a good game. Have you played it?
Deluxe edition.
I haven't. I feel like it's one of those games where I'll get too into.
It gets pretty addicting.
$25 right now. The sale's
That's
gonna end in
why.
like 4 days.
I don't want to get too into it.
Just do it.
We didn't even do the. Let's talk video games 1 more hour.
You need to stop.
True. We
It,
even talk like pop culture.
no, we will. We will. But yeah, Hogwarts, $25. So that'll be my excuse to get on Xbox Live more. I'll try to join you guys' parties. Kevs,
Gotcha.
thank you. One more time.
Thank
One
you.
more applause. For the boy. Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, how can people reach you?
Oh yeah. Do you want to plug anything? You want to plug your own stuff right now?
Nah, not this time.
Okay, no plugs. Just good conversation. I like it like that. That's good.
Thank you.
All right then. Hey man, you know how we do it over here at the HQ. That's how we do it every Wednesday. Legends only in the building. Make sure that you guys always show love. Make sure you guys can always watch our full episodes. Oh, not make sure, but you guys already know. You guys can watch all our full episodes. Sounded Canadian right there.
Hey.
Already know. Already know. I got that wrong. It was an accident. I can't purposefully do it, so it won't be recreated. But we already got the full episodes on YouTube, of course. But of course, if you also want to support all the work that we do, go watch it on the website. Just, I don't know, get some traffic on that thing. Took a long time to create. MFPearl.com. Of course, though, if you are watching this on your favorite streaming platform or hearing it on your favorite streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, do whatever you can to show love on those platforms. Give it a rating, share it, like it, whatever you guys can do. And of course, if you guys want to keep up to date with us the most accurately, you will be able to do so on our Instagram at MFPearl. But other than that, that's going to pretty much do it for today's episode. Episode 36. The very first special edition. Boy, that's what we're talking about right here. We'll catch you guys on the very next Wednesday. Legends only in the building. Live at MFHQ. Yeah.
Cool.